Performance Assessment Development by Jakia Jones, EDU 607, Assessing and Managing Learning. The purpose of a performance assessment standard is to define what constitutes acceptable or exceptional performance in a particular context. These standards serve as benchmarks, ensuring accountability, consistency, quality, and growth in various fields and activities. They are essential for assessing and improving performance, guiding learning and development, and promoting accountability. This is my overview. Mathematics, performance standard, learning targets, student template, and student rubric will all be discussed on the following slides. This particular performance standard was recorded from ALEX or the Alabama Learning Exchange. MA 19.5.8, add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals to hundreds using strategies based on place value, properties of operation, and or relationships between addition, subtraction, and multiplication, as well as division. Relate the strategy to a written method and explain the reasoning used. Learning targets. Knowledge. Students know strategies based on place value understanding, properties, and relationships between operations to find the sum, difference, product, and quotient of whole numbers. Students also know how to write mathematical problems, which include numbers 10 to 100. Students will also use estimation strategies to assess reasonableness of answers. Reasoning. Students understand that problems involving operations can be solved using a variety of strategies based on place value, properties of operations, or the relationship between the operations. Students also understand that these numbers can be illustrated using concrete models or drawings. Skills. Students are able to use concrete models, drawings, and strategies to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals. Relate strategies for operations with decimals to a written method and explain the reasoning used. Students are also able to solve real world context problems involving decimals. Student goals and I can statements. I can statements serve to make learning objectives more transparent, foster student engagement, guide instruction, and enhance the overall educational experience by empowering students to take an active role in their learning. They are a valuable tool for both teachers and students in the educational process. I can use concrete models, drawings, and strategies to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals. I can relate strategies for operations with decimals to a written method and explain reasoning used. I can solve real world context problems involving decimals. A student-friendly template is a structured and easy to follow document or guided design to help students understand and complete various academic tasks or assignments. It's typically created with the student's perspective in mind, providing clear instruction, spaces for input, and simplified language to make the task more accessible and manageable. Student-friendly template. Students will use concrete models and drawings to solve problems, add, subtract, multiply, or divide multiples. Students will model and solve real world problems involving addition and subtraction, referring to the same whole, including like numbers as well as dividends. Students will also illustrate and explain the calculation using equations, arrays, and area models. The rubric, according to the ALEX standards, was designed to ensure that students correctly solve all problems showing a deep understanding of the concepts, or students need to also provide clear and detailed explanations for their solutions, showing all work as well as each step taken. Here is a rubric created by myself, which displays the criteria, problem solving, the math procedures, explanation of work, neatness and organization, and the overall scores for each placement. The student friendly rubric is designed to ensure that students understand in the simplest terms the requirements demanded. Criteria, problem solving, the math vocabulary. As you can see, each of these steps are still the same. However, they are just broken down into the simplest vocabulary. Assessment summary. The assessment summary aligns with the ALEX or Alabama Learning Exchanges standards. This standard allows students to actively engage and exhibit mastery learning regarding mathematics. This standard also encourages students to write, explain, and evaluate numerical expressions representing two steps problems in context.